The classroom buzzed with chatter as Mrs. Turner introduced the new student. Class, meet Emily. Emily, would you like to tell us about yourself? Emily stood silently, her face obscured by a cardboard box with hand-drawn butterflies. Abby, the class queen bee, snickered. What's with the box? Is she hiding something? The room erupted in laughter, but Mrs. Turner quickly intervened. Enough, Abby. Emily, please take a seat. Emily hesitated before sliding into the chair farthest from everyone, clutching her books tightly. Abby whispered to her friends, she's such a weirdo. After school, Mr. Carter, Emily's father, sat across from Mrs. Turner in the teacher's lounge. I was hoping the box phase would pass, he admitted. She's been like this since middle school. Ever since, he trailed off, the pain evident. Emily was once so confident. Then one day, a boy told her she was ugly. It crushed her. Mrs. Turner nodded empathetically. We'll do our best to help her here. That evening, Emily logged into her blog. Hey butterflies, she wrote. Today was tough. The kids laughed at my box again. I felt so small. But then I remembered. We're all unique butterflies, each with something special. Her blog, where she inspired others to embrace their quirks, had become her solace. Downstairs, Mr. Carter knocked on her door. Emily, you're going back tomorrow, he said firmly. Emily protested, tears streaming down her face. They're so mean, Dad. But he stood his ground. You can't hide forever, sweetheart. You're stronger than you think. That night, Emily's blog post ended with a promise. Stay strong and keep fluttering, my butterflies. The next day, during lunch, Abby and her crew cornered Emily. Take off the box, or we'll pour water on you, Abby threatened. Emily froze, clutching her box. Suddenly, Jason, a quiet boy from her class, intervened. Leave her alone, he shouted. Abby rolled her eyes but backed off. Jason turned to Emily. Are you okay? She nodded, her voice barely audible. Thanks. Jason's kindness stayed with Emily. For the first time in years, she considered taking the box off. That night, she posted on her blog. Something crazy happened. A boy stood up for me. Maybe not everyone is as cruel as I thought. Emily's father noticed a change. You seem different, he said over breakfast. Emily shrugged. A boy helped me yesterday. Maybe I don't need the box as much. Mr. Carter's heart swelled with hope. At school, Emily decided to sit closer to the front. When Abby made another snide comment, Emily met her gaze through the box's eye holes. That's enough, Abby, Jason said firmly. This time, Emily smiled behind her cardboard shield. During art class, Mrs. Turner handed out assignments to draw self-portraits. Emily's heart sank. How could she draw herself when she hadn't seen her face in years? She glanced at Jason, who gave her a reassuring nod. Slowly, she picked up her pencil and sketched the butterflies from her box instead. Mrs. Turner paused by her desk. That's beautiful, Emily. Do you think you'd like to share it with the class? Emily hesitated but nodded. When she stood to present, Abby muttered, how can she call that a self-portrait? Emily took a deep breath. This isn't just a box, she said. It's a part of me. A shield I needed when words hurt too much. But I'm learning I might not need it forever. For the first time, the class was silent, and Emily felt a spark of courage. At lunch, Jason sat next to Emily. That was brave, he said, unpacking his sandwich. Emily smiled shyly. Thanks for standing up for me. You didn't have to. Jason shrugged. Everyone deserves kindness. Besides, Abby's been a bully for years. It's about time someone said something. They spent the rest of lunch talking about art and their favorite books. For the first time in a long time, Emily felt a connection. She realized Jason wasn't just being nice. He genuinely wanted to know her. That night, her blog post read, sometimes, one kind person can make all the difference. Maybe it's time to let someone in. The following week, Emily started leaving her box at home during art class. Though she still wore it elsewhere, the small step felt monumental. Jason noticed and smiled. See? You're braver than you think, he said one afternoon. Abby, however, wasn't impressed. Looks like someone's trying to get attention, she sneered during lunch. Emily ignored her. a newfound confidence growing inside her. That evening, she blogged, "Progress isn't perfect. It's messy and it takes time. But today, I felt a little lighter, like my butterflies are starting to fly." One night, Emily found herself standing in front of the bathroom mirror. Her hand hovered over the box, hesitant. Finally, she lifted it off. She stared at her reflection, a mix of fear and curiosity swirling inside her. She barely recognized the girl staring back. Her father knocked gently. "Everything okay in there?" he asked. Emily opened the door, box in hand. "I think I'm okay," she replied softly. Her father's eyes filled with pride. "You've always been beautiful, Emily." The school announced auditions for the annual play, and Jason encouraged Emily to try out. "It's a chance to show everyone the real you," he said. Emily hesitated but decided to give it a shot. To her surprise, she was cast as the lead. Abby's jaw dropped when the announcement was made. "How did she get the part?" she fumed. Jason grinned. "Because she's talented," he said simply. Emily's heart soared. Maybe she could do this after all. As opening night approached, Emily's nerves threatened to overwhelm her. "What if I mess up? What if they laugh?" she confided in Jason. He shook his head. "You've got this. Just remember why you started." When the curtain rose, Emily stood center stage, box-free, for the first time. The audience was captivated. Abby watched from the crowd, unable to deny Emily's talent. By the end of the night, the applause was deafening. Emily's blog post read, "Tonight, I felt like I could fly." Emily's courage inspired others. Her classmates started opening up about their own insecurities. Even Abby seemed to soften, though she kept her distance. Emily continued to blog about her journey, sharing the highs and lows. "Your story matters," she wrote one night. "Never be afraid to tell it." One afternoon, Abby approached Emily. "Can we talk?" she asked hesitantly. Emily nodded, unsure of what to expect. I've been mean to you," Abby admitted. "I guess I was jealous. You're brave in a way I'm not." Emily was stunned but offered a small smile. "It's not easy, but it's worth it." Emily decided to start a school club called The Butterfly Effect, a safe space for students to share their stories and support one another. Jason helped her organize the first meeting, and to Emily's surprise, dozens of students showed up, including Abby. "Maybe we're all butterflies," Abby said during the meeting. "We just need to learn how to fly." The Butterfly Effect Club gained momentum, and Emily's blog readership soared. Messages poured in from people around the world, thanking her for her honesty and bravery. "You've shown me it's okay to be me," one message read. Emily realized her journey was no longer just about her. It was about everyone who needed to find their wings. During a school assembly, Emily was invited to speak. Standing on stage without her box, she shared her story. "For a long time, I hid because I believed I wasn't enough. But I've learned that our worth isn't defined by what others say. It's defined by who we are." The standing ovation brought tears to her eyes. Abby approached Emily after the assembly. "Your speech was amazing," she said. Then, hesitating, she added, "Can I share something with you?" Abby opened up about her struggles at home and how she used bullying as a way to cope. Emily listened, her heart aching for her former tormentor. "You're stronger than you think," Emily said. "And you're not alone." One afternoon, Jason admitted he had feelings for Emily. "You're incredible," he said. "I've never met anyone like you." Emily blushed, unsure of how to respond. "Thank you," she said quietly. Though she wasn't ready for a relationship, she appreciated his honesty and their growing friendship. Emily's blog caught the attention of a national news outlet, and she was invited to share her story on television. Nervous but excited, she agreed. "If my story can help just one person, it's worth it," she told her father. The interview aired to widespread acclaim, and Emily's message of self-acceptance reached millions. Emily's estranged mother saw the interview and reached out. "I'm so proud of you," she said through tears. Though their relationship had been strained for years, they began rebuilding their bond. Emily realized that healing was a journey, not just for herself but for her family as well. By the end of the school year, Emily no longer needed the box. She walked confidently through the halls, her head held high. The Butterfly Effect Club continued to thrive, and Emily's blog became a platform for voices from around the world. "We're all butterflies," she wrote in her final post of the year. "And now it's time to soar." As summer began, Emily faced a new challenge, speaking at a youth conference. Though nervous, she accepted. "This is bigger than me," she told Jason. Standing before hundreds of teens, she shared her story. "Every butterfly starts in a cocoon, but we all have the strength to break free," she concluded, earning a standing ovation. The success of the Butterfly Effect Club inspired Emily to create a national network. With the help of Jason and Abby, she organized virtual meetings, connecting students from different schools. "We're building something amazing," Abby said one evening. Emily smiled. "This is only the beginning." Not everyone supported Emily's rise. Online trolls began targeting her blog. "You're just seeking attention," one comment read. Hurt but undeterred, Emily addressed it head-on. "Hate only has the power you give it," she wrote. Her followers rallied around her, drowning out the negativity with messages of love and support. A publishing company approached Emily, offering her a book deal. "Your story deserves to be told," they said. Overwhelmed but excited, she began writing. "This is for everyone who ever felt like they weren't enough," she said, pouring her heart into every page. Abby's transformation continued. She used her platform as a popular student to promote kindness and inclusivity. "I spent so much time tearing others down," she confessed at a club meeting. "Now I want to lift them up." Her honesty inspired others to reflect on their own actions. Emily and Jason's friendship deepened over the summer. They spent hours planning club events and dreaming of the future. One evening, Jason said, "You've changed my life, Emily." She smiled. "You've changed mine too." Emily's book, Butterflies in the Box, debuted to rave reviews. At the launch event, she thanked her father, Jason, Abby, and her blog followers. "This isn't just my story," she said. "It's ours." The success of the book brought new opportunities, including a chance to meet her childhood hero, an advocate for mental health awareness. "You're an inspiration," they told her. Emily realized the impact of her journey extended far beyond what she imagined. Emily returned to her high school to visit the Butterfly Effect Club, now led by younger students. "You've created something lasting," Jason said as they watched the meeting. Emily nodded. "This is what it's all about." Years later, Emily stood on stage at a global conference, sharing her story with thousands. "The box didn't define me," she said. "It taught me to find my strength. And now I help others find theirs." As the crowd erupted in applause, Emily felt a profound sense of peace. Her journey had come full circle, and her butterflies were finally free. If Emily's journey inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more heartwarming stories.